Hey friends, the question today is, how do you face your fears? Hmm? Is there such thing as healthy fear or unhealthy fear? Either way, how should you face your fears? I like to respond to that question by taking you to the Bible, to the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 17, the famous story between Goliath and David. Pastor V here. I get to acknowledge everyone right here, especially those of you who are questioning about faith, God, church, most of all, Jesus Christ. I'm glad you're here. I used to be one of you. So our mission is to share the good news and help you discern and discover the truth about Jesus Christ. So let's get to the question. The question today is, how do we face our fears? And I found the 1 Samuel chapter 17 to be very, very helpful and relevant and useful in responding to this existential question, right? Okay. You know the famous story between David and Goliath, right? Philistines, Israelites, duking it out, the showdown, gundown, and both are positioned at these two hills, and between the two is a valley, and Goliath, 8 feet tall, wearing the 125 pounds of armor. He is so strong that the point of his javelin spear, just the point itself, the head, weighed 20 pounds. A massive, massive warrior, strength and power, you name it, very, very formidable. And everyone on the Israelite camp was afraid, filled with terror and dismay, right? And this giant Goliath kept taunting the Israelites, send a champion. That's a key word. He said, send a champion so that he and I may fight. And if I kill him, you become our slaves. If he kills me, we become your slaves. Okay? One way that people respond to fear is we let our fears to control us. And that's what happened to King Saul and the Israelites. They were gripped with fear, they were terrorized, and that's because when they recognized the fear, Goliath, they let it control them. And that's not the way we should face our own fears. We need to recognize them, and I'll say more about this. But once we recognize them, we should not let them grip us to a point where we become paralyzed, we become anxious, and it totally takes over us. Another mistake that we might make is when we face our fears, we underestimate it, we downplay it, we even possibly ignore it. And that's represented by Goliath. When he sees David coming at him with the sling, he totally underestimated the danger and the power and the fear of David's weapon. That sling was one of the most deadliest weapons in the ancient world. That sling, not one of those, it was one of those, okay? A stone could travel as fast as 170 miles an hour. In fact, archaeologists found embedded stones and metals in people's bones, and that was just propelled from the swing. See, what did Goliath do wrong? He downplayed, ignored the danger and the fear that David represented. Okay? So that's not what we should do. You might know some people, they totally see the situation and they should be afraid. They should take it seriously. But what do? They downplay it, right? What do you call that person? A fool. A fool. That's not a wise person. So before moving on, first, we face the fears. Number two, we recognize them as formidable dangerous, life changing, possibly. But we got to see it from God's eyes. So let's go there. And that's the response that David represents in the story. He sees Goliath and he took him seriously. But he was not controlled by what Goliath represented. All the power, all the strength, all the danger. But he saw the fears through the eyes of God. He said, on this day, I am going to display to the world that there is a God in Israel. And God has been equipping me, training me as a shepherd boy. I become an expert with this swing, this weaponry. You see? Again, he recognized the fear, but he saw the fears through God's eyes, and he proceeded. Now, what's most important about this account, this story, is the word champion. Champion, champion. Champion, you know the story, right? If send down a champion, we're going to fight. If he kills me, we become your slaves. If I kill him, you become our slaves. Here is what theologians call the doctrine of representation. Whatever happens to champion happens to the people. If the champion becomes victorious, the people become victorious. If the champion is defeated, so are the people. They are defeated. That's the doctrine of representation. Someone else's action is imputed to you, right? So that's where the Bible, the New Testament, connects the champion motif to Jesus Christ. Hebrews chapter 12. Fix your eyes on Jesus Christ, the champion of your faith. Interesting connection, really, really profound. What the Bible is saying is, Jesus fought not only for you, but as you. Let me repeat that preposition, as. It's vitally important. Christ fought as your champion. So therefore, what happened to him happens to us. Therefore, his victory is now your victory. He is our great champion. It's not like Victor Coe trying to overcome his fears all by himself. No. First and foremost, the goodness of Jesus Christ is not so much what I have to do first. It's receiving what Christ has done for me. He fought as me. The Goliath is representing sin and death. Your biggest enemies are our sin and death. Christ faced that giant and he fought them victoriously. And what he has received, his victory, is now yours. So, friends, let's go there. Here's how you face your fears today. Whatever it might be, okay? It's not as formidable as your sin and death. Therefore, once you overcome your sin and death through the victory of Christ, you will be able to handle the smaller fears in your life. Unemployment, lack of a companion, security, uncertainty of the future. Hey, look. Since Jesus Christ, your champion, fought the fight, won the battle, he imputes to you his victory over sin and death, and therefore you can be assured that your future is secure. It's assured by the Lord Christ himself. So take on your smaller fears from the perspective of the battle has been won. You are in this trenches. It is a fear. You will face it, but do not forget the perspective of the bigger picture. The battle, the victory is yours already. So it is in that confidence we can take on the smaller, tiny little Goliaths. May I encourage all of you to write your comments and questions below, and the information you can find in the description. I also want to invite you, if you happen to be in Edmonton, come and be my guest, my personal guest, at mosaicHouse Church. The information you can find in the description. I will let me know you are here because I want to shake your hand and welcome you warmly and personally. Now, help us to spread the good news of Jesus Christ. Would you please click subscribe button so that we may do this not only with you but with so many other people. See you next time.